Most people believe they make their own choices, navigating life with a conscious hand on the tiller of their desires and actions. We believe we are the masters of our own relational fates, but rarely do we pause to ask who or what is truly doing the choosing, especially in the labyrinthine world of love and betrayal. We often condemn infidelity instinctively as a simple act of betrayal, a conscious decision to wound, a clear breach of trust. It feels personal, direct, a deliberate severing of sacred bonds. The immediate questions sear: why do people cheat in relationships? Is it my fault they cheated? The pain is undeniable, a raw, gaping wound that can leave one feeling lost after betrayal. But what if the roots of such devastating actions lie deeper, tangled in the unseen soil of the collective unconscious, driven by forces and unconscious motivations for cheating that both the betrayer and the betrayed barely comprehend? What if the psychology behind cheating is far more complex than a simple failure of character or love? Betrayal can leave you feeling lost and shattered. It throws your world into disarray, questioning everything you thought you knew about your partner, your relationship, and even yourself. The experience is a profound emotional trauma from betrayal, a disorienting journey through anger, grief, and confusion. Many wonder if they can ever trust again after infidelity. But what if there was a way to understand these devastating experiences, not just as personal wounds, but as echoes of a deeper human drama, a drama played out in the psyche of us all? Join me as we delve into the profound wisdom of Carl Jung to navigate the emotional turmoil of a cheating partner and find pathways to healing after betrayal Jung style. In this exploration, titled Jung's Advice on Handling Cheaters, Lessons from the Collective Unconscious, we will uncover how Jungian psychology, infidelity insights, and the concept of the collective unconscious betrayal offer a surprising and profound perspective on the psychological reasons for infidelity. We'll explore Jung's take on infidelity, examining unconscious motivations for cheating and seeking pathways for emotional recovery after cheating. This journey promises to unlock a deeper understanding of human behavior and gain practical tools to cope with infidelity. Discover how Jung's insights on the collective unconscious can empower you to heal and move forward after betrayal, turning pain into self-awareness. Our journey won't take us to simple answers or quick fixes, for the terrain of the human heart is rarely straightforward. Instead, we venture through the intricate corridors of the human psyche, a realm of shadow and light, archetypes and dreams, a space where unconscious behaviors in love often dictate the script. This is an introspective exploration, a quest for understanding, empowerment, and ultimately inner healing through psychology. We will be looking at Jungian therapy principles and Carl Jung relationship advice to guide us, fostering emotional intelligence in relationships. If the search for self-awareness, for understanding the psychology behind cheating, and for transforming pain into profound self-reflection and growth speaks to you, subscribe and turn on the bell. These are the kinds of questions, the kinds of wounds that don't leave us unchanged when we dare to face them with courage and an open mind. The journey towards healing after being cheated on can be a path to deep self-awareness and transformation, offering a chance not just to recover, but to become more whole. We will explore how to process emotional pain and begin rebuilding after relationship trauma. To truly grasp Jung on cheating, we must first journey into one of his most revolutionary and often misunderstood concepts, the collective unconscious. This isn't just a storehouse of forgotten personal memories. Imagine, if you will, a vast ancient ocean beneath the surface of our individual awareness. This ocean is ageless, shared by all humanity, a reservoir of ancestral experiences, primal images and universal patterns of behavior. Jung called this the collective unconscious, It's a psychic inheritance filled with what he termed archetypes, primordial images and instinctual patterns that shape how we perceive the world, react to events, and crucially, how we form and navigate relationships. These aren't learned behaviors in the conventional sense. They are innate predispositions, blueprints for human experience that resonate across cultures and epochs. Understanding the collective unconscious and cheating means recognizing that some dramas of love and betrayal are as old as humanity itself. The emotional trauma from betrayal you might be feeling has, in a sense, been felt by countless others. Its echoes residing within this shared psychic space. We are looking for Jung's advice on handling cheaters, and this foundational concept is key. Carl Jung's revolutionary idea of the collective unconscious proposed that beneath our personal, individual unconscious, filled with our own forgotten memories and repressed experiences, lies this deeper universal layer. It's a shared reservoir of archetypes and universal experiences, a psychic blueprint common to all humankind. Think of it as the inherited psychological software that predisposes us to certain patterns of thought, feeling, and behavior, particularly in response to fundamental life experiences: birth, death, love, conflict, and yes, betrayal. Within this vast ocean swim the archetypes, these potent universal symbols and instinctual patterns. They aren't fully formed characters, but rather dynamic psychic structures that organize our experiences and understanding. They are the invisible architects of our inner world, profoundly influencing our perceptions and interactions. And crucially, for our exploration of Jungian psychology infidelity, archetypes play a significant role in the drama of romantic relationships. Consider, for instance, the shadow archetype. This is perhaps one of Jung's most well-known and often misunderstood concepts. The shadow represents the dark side of our personality, those aspects of ourselves that we repress, deny, or are simply unaware of, because they don't fit our conscious self-image, our ego's ideal. It's not necessarily evil, though it can contain primitive instincts, selfishness, and unacknowledged desires. It can also hold repressed creativity, strength, and authenticity. In shadow archetype relationships, what we fail to acknowledge in ourselves, we often project onto others, especially our intimate partners. This projection can become a fertile ground for misunderstanding, conflict, and, as we will explore, potentially infidelity, as unowned parts of the self seek expression, sometimes destructively. Shadow work and betrayal are deeply intertwined concepts in this framework. Then there are the Anima and Animus archetypes. The Anima is the unconscious feminine aspect within a man's psyche, while the Animus is the unconscious masculine aspect within a woman's. These archetypes are formed not only from personal experiences with the opposite sex, like one's mother or father, but are also imbued with collective, historical images of woman and man. They significantly influence our choice of romantic partners, as we are often drawn to individuals who embody aspects of our own anima or animus. However, if these projections are too idealized or remain entirely unconscious, they can lead to profound dissatisfaction. The partner is expected to perfectly embody this internal image, an impossible task. This is where Anima Animus cheating can become a tragic outcome. The search for that idealized other outside the existing relationship, driven by an unconscious longing for wholeness that the current partner, being merely human, cannot fulfill. These are Jungian archetypes in romantic relationships that hold immense power. So how does the collective unconscious act as a lens for understanding infidelity? When we consider Jung on cheating, we begin to see that infidelity might not always be a straightforward conscious decision stemming solely from a lack of love or moral failing. Instead, it could be a complex, often tragic, manifestation of these deeper psychic forces. It might be an eruption of the repressed shadow, seeking expression in a forbidden liaison. It could be the desperate pursuit of an idealized anima or animus projection, a chasing of ghosts. Unconscious desires, rooted in these archetypal dynamics and the vast collective unconscious, can exert a powerful pull, leading individuals down paths they might consciously abhor. This perspective doesn't excuse the act of betrayal or diminish the profound pain it causes. The emotional trauma from betrayal is undeniably real and devastating. But it does offer a framework for deeper understanding, moving beyond simple blame towards an exploration of the unconscious motivations for cheating. It suggests that sometimes the drama of infidelity is not just a personal failure, but a human, an ancient story reenacted, fueled by the timeless energies of the collective unconscious and cheating. The question, why do people cheat in relationships, becomes less about individual malice and more about the complex interplay of conscious choices and powerful, often unseen, unconscious behaviors in love. For those feeling lost after betrayal, this understanding can be the first step toward navigating the bewildering landscape of pain and finding a path to healing after being cheated on. The discovery of infidelity is a shattering blow. It's a crisis that can dismantle our sense of reality, our trust in others, and even our faith in ourselves. The immediate aftermath is often a maelstrom of raw emotion, anger, grief, confusion, a profound sense of betrayal that cuts to the core. For anyone feeling lost after betrayal, the path forward seems shrouded in darkness. Yet, it is precisely in these moments of profound crisis that Carl Jung's wisdom offers not just solace, but a roadmap for profound transformation. Jungian therapy principles emphasize that even the most painful experiences can become catalysts for growth if we approach them with courage and a willingness to delve into our own depths. The importance of confronting the shadow for both the betrayed and, if they are willing, the betrayer. The experience of infidelity offers a stark, unavoidable confrontation with the shadow. For the person who has been cheated on, the shadow may manifest as unacknowledged vulnerabilities, perhaps a tendency towards naive trust, or even a subconscious participation in a dynamic that was unsustainable. This is not to say, is it my fault? They cheated in a blaming way, but rather to encourage a courageous self-reflection and growth that looks at one's own contributions to the relational system, however unintentional. Healing after betrayal, Jung style, involves this honest self-appraisal. It's about asking, what parts of myself have I not seen, acknowledged, or integrated? Confronting this shadow aspect, painful as it may be, can lead to greater self-awareness and profound emotional maturity. It's a vital step in inner healing through psychology. For the person who cheated, the affair itself is a glaring manifestation of their shadow. The act forces, or should force, a confrontation with those disowned desires, insecurities, or destructive patterns that fueled the betrayal. True healing and the possibility of genuine remorse can only begin when they are willing to undertake this difficult shadow work and betrayal integration, to own the parts of themselves that led to such destructive unconscious behaviors in love. Reframing infidelity as a catalyst for growth. This is perhaps one of the most challenging yet most empowering aspects of a Jungian approach. Reframing infidelity as a catalyst for growth. This doesn't mean condoning the act or minimizing the pain. The emotional trauma from betrayal is valid and must be honored. However, Jung believed that suffering, if consciously engaged with, holds immense transformative potential. The old alchemists, whom Jung studied extensively, sought to turn lead into gold. Psychologically, this is akin to transforming raw, painful experience into wisdom and wholeness. An affair can shatter old, dysfunctional patterns within a relationship or within an individual, forcing a reckoning that might have been avoided for years. It can compel us to ask profound questions about ourselves, our needs, our values, and what we truly want from our connections with others. It can be an incredibly painful wake-up call, but a wake-up call nonetheless. The goal is turning pain into self-awareness, using the crisis as an impetus for deeper self-reflection and growth. For those seeking healing after being cheated on, this reframing can shift the narrative from one of pure victimhood to one of potential resilience and evolution, the power of forgiveness for healing. Forgiveness, in a Jungian context, is a complex and deeply personal process. It's not about forgetting, excusing, or necessarily even reconciling with the person who cheated. Rather, forgiveness as a path to healing is primarily an internal act, a release of the intense, consuming anger, resentment, and desire for retribution that can keep us tethered to the past and to our pain. Forgiving the other, if and when one is ready, can be a profound liberation. It is acknowledging their humanity, flaws and all, perhaps even understanding, though not excusing, the unconscious motivations for cheating that may have driven them, as we've explored through concepts like the shadow archetype relationships or Anima Animus cheating. This understanding doesn't mean that trust is, or should be, automatically restored. Equally, and perhaps even more importantly, is the journey towards self-forgiveness. The betrayed often grapple with misplaced guilt, endless what-ifs, or shame. Is it my fault they cheated? Is a question that can haunt. Forgiving oneself for not knowing, for trusting, for being human is a crucial step in emotional recovery after cheating. For the person who cheated, true self-forgiveness can only come after genuine remorse, accountability, and a commitment to shadow integration and change. This process of forgiveness, whether of self or other, is not about weakness. It's an act of profound strength and self-preservation. It allows us to reclaim our energy from the trauma and reinvest it in our own healing and growth, paving the way for rebuilding after relationship trauma, whether that means rebuilding the relationship on a new foundation or moving forward independently with newfound wisdom. Carl Jung relationship advice often points towards this inner work as paramount. Understanding the deeper psychological reasons for infidelity and the potential for growth, as offered by Jungian psychology infidelity insights, is one thing. Living through the immediate, searing aftermath of betrayal is quite another. The intellectual understanding can, for a time, be overwhelmed by the sheer force of emotion. Feeling lost after betrayal is an almost universal experience. The ground beneath your feet has shifted, and navigating this new, painful landscape requires immense courage and self-compassion. Jung's advice on handling cheaters isn't just about understanding the cheater, it's profoundly about guiding the betrayed through their own turbulent inner world. The stages of grief, an emotional roller coaster. The experience of being cheated on often mirrors the classic stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. While not always linear or predictable, recognizing these stages can be helpful. Denial. This can't be happening. There must be a mistake. It's a psychic buffer against the initial shock, a way the mind tries to protect itself from overwhelming pain when facing the truth about a cheating partner. Anger. Intense rage towards the partner, the other person, the situation, even oneself. This anger, while destructive if unchecked, is also a vital life force, a sign that you recognize a profound injustice has occurred. Jung's take on infidelity would acknowledge this primal response. Bargaining. If only I had been different, or maybe if we try X, Y, Z, we can fix this. This stage often involves desperate attempts to regain control or rewind time. The question, "Is it my fault they cheated?" can become particularly acute here. Depression, a period of deep sadness, despair, and hopelessness. The full weight of the loss, of trust, of the relationship as it was, of a future envisioned, settles in. This is a critical phase for how to process emotional pain. Acceptance. This isn't about condoning the cheating or necessarily feeling okay about it. It's about acknowledging the reality of what has happened and beginning to see a path forward, however different it may be from what was once imagined. This is where healing after being cheated on truly begins to take root. Allowing yourself to feel these emotions fully, without judgment, is crucial. Repressing them only prolongs the suffering. The emotional trauma from betrayal needs an outlet, seeking support and guidance. You do not have to walk this path alone. The pain of infidelity can be isolating, but reaching out is an act of strength. Trusted friends and family, sharing your pain with those who offer non-judgmental support can be immensely comforting. Choose people who will listen, validate your feelings, and respect your process. Therapy is counseling. A therapist, particularly one versed in Jungian therapy principles or trauma recovery, can provide invaluable support. They can offer a safe space to explore your emotions, understand the dynamics at play, including unconscious motivations for cheating if that's relevant to your healing, and develop strategies for emotional recovery after cheating. They can help you navigate the complexities of shadow work and betrayal and work towards inner healing through psychology. This is a cornerstone of Carl Jung relationship advice, the value of a guided journey through the unconscious. Support groups. Connecting with others who have experienced similar betrayals can reduce feelings of isolation and provide a sense of shared understanding. Knowing that others have navigated this pain and are rebuilding after relationship trauma can be incredibly validating. Developing healthy coping mechanisms. During this period of intense emotional upheaval, it's vital to cultivate healthy ways to manage anxiety, anger, and sadness. The urge to engage in destructive behaviors can be strong, but these will ultimately hinder your healing. After betrayal, Jung would advocate for conscious choices. Journaling. Writing down your thoughts and feelings can be a powerful way to process them. It allows for uninhibited expression and can help you gain clarity. Meditation and mindfulness. These practices can help you stay present with your emotions without being overwhelmed by them. They can soothe the nervous system and create a space for inner calm amidst the storm. This aligns with fostering emotional intelligence in relationships with oneself first. Physical exercise. Moving your body can release pent-up tension and emotions. Exercise also boosts endorphins, which can improve mood, creative expression. Engaging in art, music, writing, or any creative outlet can provide a non-verbal way to process complex feelings related to the collective unconscious betrayal themes that might be surfacing. Setting boundaries. This is crucial whether you are considering reconciliation or separation. Boundaries protect your emotional and psychological space as you heal. They are essential when deciding if you ever trust again after infidelity. Navigating the emotional turmoil of betrayal is a testament to human resilience. It is a painful, often messy process, but it is also a journey that can lead to a deeper understanding of yourself and a stronger sense of your own capacity to endure and heal. The goal is not to erase the pain, but to integrate the experience in a way that fosters self-reflection and growth, ultimately turning pain into self-awareness. The stages of grief, an emotional roller coaster. The experience of being cheated on often mirrors the classic stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. While not always linear or predictable, recognizing these stages can be helpful. Denial: this can't be happening. There must be a mistake. It's a psychic buffer against the initial shock, a way the mind tries to protect itself from overwhelming pain when facing the truth about a cheating partner, anger, intense rage towards the partner, the other person, the situation, even oneself. This anger, while destructive if unchecked, is also a vital life force, a sign that you recognize a profound injustice has occurred. Jung's take on infidelity would acknowledge this primal response. Bargaining. If only I had been different. Or maybe if we try X, Y, Z, we can fix this. This stage often involves desperate attempts to regain control or rewind time. The question, is it my fault they cheated, can become particularly acute here. Depression, a period of deep sadness, despair, and hopelessness. The full weight of the loss, of trust, of the relationship as it was, of a future envisioned, settles in. This is a critical phase for how to process emotional pain. Acceptance. This isn't about condoning the cheating or necessarily feeling okay about it. It's about acknowledging the reality of what has happened and beginning to see a path forward, however different it may be from what was once imagined. This is where healing after being cheated on truly begins to take root. Allowing yourself to feel these emotions fully, without judgment, is crucial. Repressing them only prolongs the suffering. The emotional trauma from betrayal needs an outlet, seeking support and guidance. You do not have to walk this path alone. The pain of infidelity can be isolating, but reaching out is an act of strength. Trusted. Friends and family, sharing your pain with those who offer non-judgmental support can be immensely comforting. Choose people who will listen, validate your feelings, and respect your process. Therapy is counseling. A therapist, particularly one versed in Jungian therapy principles or trauma recovery, can provide invaluable support. They can offer a safe space to explore your emotions, understand the dynamics at play, including unconscious motivations for cheating if that's relevant to your healing, and develop strategies for emotional recovery after cheating. They can help you navigate the complexities of shadow work and betrayal and work towards inner healing through psychology. This is a cornerstone of Carl Jung relationship advice, the value of a guided journey through the unconscious. Support. Groups. Connecting with others who have experienced similar betrayals can reduce feelings of isolation and provide a sense of shared understanding. Knowing that others have navigated this pain and are rebuilding after relationship trauma can be incredibly validating. Developing healthy coping mechanisms. During this period of intense emotional upheaval, it's vital to cultivate healthy ways to manage anxiety, anger, and sadness. The urge to engage in destructive behaviors can be strong, but these will ultimately hinder your healing. After betrayal, Jung would advocate for conscious choices. Journaling, writing down your thoughts and feelings, can be a powerful way to process them. It allows for uninhibited expression and can help you gain clarity. Meditation and mindfulness. These practices can help you stay present with your emotions without being overwhelmed by them. They can soothe the nervous system and create a space for inner calm amidst the storm. This aligns with fostering emotional intelligence in relationships with oneself first. Physical exercise. Moving your body can release pent-up tension and emotions. Exercise also boosts endorphins, which can improve mood, creative expression. Engaging in art, music, writing, or any creative outlet can provide a non-verbal way to process complex feelings related to the collective unconscious betrayal themes that might be surfacing. Setting boundaries. This is crucial whether you are considering reconciliation or separation. Boundaries protect your emotional and psychological space as you heal. They are essential when deciding if you ever trust again after infidelity. Navigating the emotional turmoil of betrayal is a testament to human resilience. It is a Painful, often messy process, but it is also a journey that can lead to a deeper understanding of yourself and a stronger sense of your own capacity to endure and heal. The goal is not to erase the pain, but to integrate the experience in a way that fosters self-reflection and growth, ultimately turning pain into self-awareness. The path through the wreckage of infidelity is arduous, demanding courage, introspection, and an unwavering commitment to your own well-being. Having navigated the initial shock, explored the Jungian psychology infidelity perspectives on unconscious motivations for cheating, and begun the difficult work of processing the emotional trauma from betrayal, we arrive at a pivotal juncture moving forward. This isn't about forgetting the past, but about integrating its lessons, allowing the experience to forge you into a wiser, more resilient individual. Jung's advice on handling cheaters ultimately leads us back to the alchemical process of self-transformation, redefining relationships after infidelity. The discovery of cheating irrevocably changes the relationship. It cannot simply go back to what it was. The question then becomes, what will it become? Rebuilding trust if chosen. If both partners are committed to healing and the betrayer undertakes genuine shadow work and betrayal integration, rebuilding trust is a slow, painstaking process. It requires radical honesty, consistent trustworthy behavior over time, and often professional guidance. The old relationship is gone, a new one, built on the ashes of the old and the hard-won lessons of the betrayal, must be consciously created. For the betrayed, learning if you ever trust again after infidelity is a deeply personal journey, not a mandate. Moving on separately. Sometimes the breach is too great, the damage too severe, or the willingness of one or both partners to do the necessary work is absent. Choosing to end the relationship can be an act of profound self-respect and a necessary step towards healing after being cheated on. This isn't failure. It's a courageous recognition of what is needed for your own well-being and growth. The insights gained from understanding Jung on cheating and the psychology behind cheating can still inform future relationships, helping you to build healthier connections based on greater self-awareness. New relationship dynamics. Regardless of whether the original relationship continues or ends, the experience of infidelity will shape future relational dynamics. You may approach new relationships with greater caution, a more discerning eye for red flags, and a deeper understanding of your own needs and boundaries. This is a positive outcome of turning pain into self-awareness, embracing self-compassion. Throughout this entire process, self-compassion is paramount. It's easy to fall into self-blame. Is it my fault they cheated? Harsh self-criticism, or a persistent sense of victimhood. Jungian therapy principles encourage a gentler, more understanding stance towards oneself. Acknowledge your resilience. You have endured a profound emotional wound. Recognize the strength it has taken to face this pain, to seek understanding, and to begin the work of healing. Validate your feelings. Your emotions are valid, no matter how messy or contradictory they may seem. Allow yourself to feel without judgment. Practice self-care. Nurture your mind, body, and spirit. This isn't selfish. It's essential for emotional recovery after cheating and for rebuilding after relationship trauma. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not knowing, for any perceived mistakes, or for simply being human and vulnerable in love. This is a crucial part of healing after betrayal. Jung would emphasize transforming pain into wisdom. The alchemical gold, the ultimate aim of this journey, from a Jungian perspective, is not just to survive the betrayal, but to be transformed by it. This is where the true gold of the alchemical process is found, transforming pain into wisdom. Deeper self-awareness. Infidelity often acts as an unwelcome mirror, reflecting back to us our own unacknowledged patterns, vulnerabilities, and strengths. By courageously looking into this mirror, engaging in self-reflection and growth, we gain a much deeper understanding of who we are. Understanding human nature, exploring concepts like the collective unconscious betrayal, the shadow archetype, relationships, and Anima Animus cheating provides a broader, more compassionate understanding of human fallibility and the complex unconscious behaviors in love. This doesn't excuse harmful actions, but it can reduce the sense of personal attack and foster a more nuanced view of the psychology behind cheating. Enhanced emotional intelligence. Navigating such intense emotional terrain can, over time, significantly enhance your emotional intelligence in relationships. You learn to better recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions, and become more attuned to the emotional currents in others. Clarified values and boundaries. The crisis of infidelity often forces a re-evaluation of what is truly important to you in a relationship and in life. This can lead to clearer, stronger boundaries and a more authentic way of living and loving. A call to individuation. Jung saw such life crises as potential calls to individuation, the lifelong psychological process of becoming an individual, a separate, indivisible unity or whole. The shattering of an old reality can clear the way for the emergence of a more authentic self. Moving forward after infidelity is not about finding easy answers or quick fixes. It's about embracing the profound, often painful journey of healing and growth. It's about understanding that even from the deepest wounds, wisdom can emerge. The lessons learned from the collective unconscious, the insights into our shared humanity, and the courage to face our own shadows can illuminate the path ahead, allowing us to move forward not just healed, but transformed, carrying the hard-won wisdom that turns profound pain into enduring strength. You are not merely recovering after someone cheats on you. You are potentially becoming more fully yourself. You've reached the end of our exploration, or perhaps a new beginning in your own understanding. The echoes of betrayal, the whispers of the unconscious, the archetypal dramas that play out in our lives, these are not easily silenced. The mind doesn't simply forget what it's seen, or the difficult questions it has dared to ask about why people cheat, about the nature of trust, and about the painful, powerful journey of healing after being cheated on. If tonight's unraveling of Jung's advice on handling cheaters and the lessons from the collective unconscious has left a trace within you, a spark of recognition, or a call to deeper introspection, follow it. Don't let that nascent awareness fade. You'll find more stories, more psychological explorations, more pathways to inner healing through psychology in our psychology playlist, linked below. But remember this, as you step away from these words, the most unsettling revelations, the most profound transformations aren't always the ones we hear from others. They are the ones we begin to recognize with a shiver of truth within ourselves. The shadows, the unlived potentials, the capacity for both wounding and healing, they reside within. Welcome to the ongoing, ever-deepening discovery of your own mind. See you in the next video.